goodness. I'm live. Okay. I'm so sorry, you guys. It took me forever to figure this out. All right. So let me see. So I am 5 minutes late. I'm going to make up for that 5 minutes. I don't know what I'm doing. Who's here? Okay. Hey. So, Brittany, I tried to do it where you said go into the live that I had set up. Good morning, Natara. I cannot, it wouldn't let me go back into the live that I had set up for yesterday. Hey, good morning. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for coming in. It took me forever to figure out how to go live, y'all, and I'm so sorry. So I'm going to make up for the 5 minutes that it took me to start. But I'm so excited. Okay. So I have been like racking my brain since yesterday to figure out what I'm going to do on this live. And I have no idea. So anyway, the first question is, how are y'all doing? Good morning. Good morning. Oh my goodness. Okay, so how are y'all doing this morning? Yes. Okay, so tap the picture. 1 second. No. Brittany, I don't even see your comment anymore. Okay, there it is. Tap the picture and make me tap your picture. Okay, got it. All right, I just sent you the invite. All right, so I want to make sure the comments stay on the screen so I can see. Okay, because it keeps disappearing. I am well, you guys. I am well, but I am nervous. So I want to try to go live once a week. This is just my first live, just to kind of get a feel for going live. You can't see me now? Hold on. Oh my goodness. Hold on. You can see me. Okay, somebody else said they can see me. So how many fingers am I putting up? Okay. Everybody said they can see me. Let me pull my own live up on here. Okay. Thank y'all. All right. Now, I just want to be able to see the comments. All right. So we're going to get started. All right. So let me see. Where is my little talking points here? All right, so I want to let y'all know that I am doing a giveaway. And in this live, my giveaway is going to be a brand new apron. So you're going to get this apron, but I'm going to ask a question at the end of the live for you guys to get this apron. And I'm just going to pick a number, and I'm going to, whoever guesses the number or the closest number. All right, so first question is, and I know Brittany and I were talking about this recently, and I want to ask this specifically because I feel like in our community, we wash over a lot of issues that we see, and a lot of people want to slap a band-aid on things, and I'm not a slap a band-aid on issues that need to be discussed and talked about. Number one is our mental health. And number two would be just to understand how you're doing in your day-to-day life. Thank you. So go ahead and tell me in the comments. Um, type 1 if you're doing good. Type 2 if you feel like you're struggling from day to day. Um, okay. Okay, how do you guys feel about the homemaking community as a whole being portrayed online? Do you feel like it's really relatable? Do you feel like it's like that's like a life that you don't know anything about? Because online, um, yes, okay, with God's grace, yes. And I'm so happy to see the ones. Cynthia, you said two. Good morning. Oh, girl, coffee, girl. What's in y'all mug? Y'all, I know y'all got y'all mugs. I said get your tea or your coffee. Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of unrealistic stuff being portrayed. I do agree with that. Hey, Tam. I'm looking at the comments over here because they're not popping up on my screen right here. You said some online homemaking communities are not as authentic as they should be. I agree. 1.5. I want to say 1.5. I'm not going to say one or two only because I'm good on some days. Yesterday was rough for me as well, Lady Shan. Um, Today is much better. Yesterday was really rough. I felt very overwhelmed. Y'all, I needed a break. I literally was vlogging yesterday and I had to cut my vlog off at like around noon or 1 o'clock. I was overstimulated. And thank God my husband was like, you need to go lay down and rest. And that's exactly what I did. So, how good are y'all with extending grace to yourself? Because I know for me, that's hard. Yes. You see perfection and not authenticity with some of these folks. I agree. Yes. Ever since Hurricane Milton, y'all, my anxiety has been so high. I just been in prayer mode for a lot of my family and friends. Um, and a lot of them have been, houses are in shambles. And I'm just praying for their livelihood altogether because I know how stressful it could be. And I wish I could just have everybody move in with us because that's really what I want until everybody get on their feet. Good morning, Fancy. Yes, learning to surrender. Listen, I've already chosen my word for 2025. You know, surrender has been my word for 2023 and 2024. But 2025, my word is going to be rest, resting with the Father. Some do make it look perfect. And I wanna ask you guys a person, and you won't hurt my feelings. Do y'all feel like I portray a authentic view of homemaking online? Because I am very mindful. I don't ever want people to feel as though um, I have it all going on. I don't. But I do want to say that the difference between who I was in 2019 when I started my journey to now is that I have found joy in the Lord. And so even though I am going through, thank you, Tam, even though I am going through things, it's not that I won't show it. I will probably process it, get through it, and then talk about it when I'm on the other side of it. But I want to make sure that I am not putting out stuff that nobody can relate to, or they feel like, well, that's not me. Because I struggle. One of the things that I don't want to do is I think that, yeah, it is the joy of the Lord that makes it different, Fancy. I agree. No, not good with showing myself grace. Um, so let's talk about that. Uniquely D homemaking. Let's talk about ways we can show up for ourselves. Um, Number one thing I want to say is you have to be okay with knowing when to put it down. Like you have to, like I said yesterday, I had to just, I had to have a hard stop. I went on a drive. I went and treated myself to lunch, and I came home and I relaxed. And I relaxed until it was time for me to make dinner. I don't believe you have it. To exploit yourself. You're right, Tam. You're right. You do not have to exploit yourself to be authentic. What I am not going to do is sell my soul for like a comment, a view. I ain't doing all that. But I do want to show up to let people know that sometimes we're going through things, and a lot of the time we don't realize that other people go through it because their life looks so perfect. And so I want to make sure that I ain't ever going to come across as a perfect person. I am saved by grace and I go through my stuff. So Fancy, no, like Fancy, Maria, the Dinkins family, there are quite a few ladies on here that know I go through it. Let me see. Yes, but God is good. Okay, so let's talk about this, Roshonda. I didn't realize how stressed I was, how busy I was, and how I was not really trusting God, trusting with my mouth and not with my heart. He loves me so much, and he sat me down to show me. Yes, so you're still down. And when you say down, you're on short-term disability. And that's what God does for us. And sometimes we're going through things, even in health wise, like the 8 weeks that I was down, it was like I was trying to run from the Lord, and he was like, he was running after me faster than I could get away. But it made me submit my thoughts. Like I had to, like, I was like, okay, I'm done. I was sitting in this bed every day, couldn't move. And I was like, let me just write, journal and write what he's saying to me. Good morning, Kelly. Thank you, D. God put your scars on your arms. And Fancy, I don't think a lot of people here know what that means. And so is it okay for me to tell them what your experience has been? I'm not going to go into too much detail, but just so that they know what has happened to you. Let me know. I have hope. Yes, Natara. So I want to make it clear about what homemaking is, because a lot of us online, and I'm not saying all of you, but a lot of us have made homemaking an idol. And one of the reasons why I changed my name and my brand, it was for personal reasons, because I wanted to make sure that I was not going to be idolized, and I did not want to idolize other homemakers. My life looks so different compared to other women that portray themselves online. My kids allow, a lot of people say, "Oh, your videos are so peaceful," and I want y'all to understand that that peace is inner peace, and I don't know how that comes across when I'm making the video, but it just comes out that way when the video is posted. It's not something I intentionally do. It's just my mood. My kids can be loud, but I don't have to respond to them in a, negative way. So I think it's just who I am in Christ, and I can't really like make it up. Like it's peaceful because I am at peace with who I am. So Fancy said yes. So about a year ago, and Fancy, you can put down in the chat the day that this happened. Fancy is another homemaker who is creating content. She had to stop for a while because a neighbor of hers had a dog, and Fancy, you can put the dog type. I think it was either a pit bull or something like that. He mauled her and her son and her husband. And so she was in the hospital for a while, but the pit bull, okay, has left like to the point where he severed, and you could see holes like through her body. He severed nerve nerves in her arms and things like that. And so she believes that God put her through that to not to teach her a lesson, but to give her an understanding of his grace, his love. And she's still going through. Yes, her husband eliminated the dog. Unfortunately, they had to go through that, and it was not a good experience. So she is here today because she understands what God's love and grace is for her. But y'all, it was really bad. It was actually all over the news. Um, and she could probably tell you a little bit more. She does have a podcast on her channel that kind of explains a little bit more about, her PTSD from it and things like that. So be sure to check out her tropical home, because she definitely is going to be putting out more podcasts talking about, the process of, going through anger, the different emotions that she experienced, how her community really stepped up for her. And sometimes through me watching her, I felt like, wow, she has a community. I immediately thought, maybe 2 or 3 weeks after this happened, like, if something was to happen to me, how would my community show up for me? It was just really good to see that people actually showed up, provided them with dinners, took care of her kids while she was in the hospital. And Fancy, type down in the description how long you were in the hospital. I feel like I missed some comments. Walking into her, Brittany, you said homemaking has to do with the matters of the heart and character, not what you do when what you do when we as homemakers decide to live by that, what God tells us to, then we will be able to bypass all the other worldly views. I agree. I agree. Yes, I broke my leg and ankle. I couldn't even drive. It was a journey for my husband and I. I'm sorry to hear that. Mrs. CJ said at her tropical home, sis, yes, it is. I am thankful Jesus is there in the hard places with us. He is. He is. Okay, who am I? All right, so she was in the hospital for 3 weeks in ICU. So yeah, I feel like sometimes we are not doing other women any justice when we are like withholding the goodness of God, even in our bad. So I want to make sure that I. You said a search for. Oh yeah. So I'll talk about that, Kelly, in a minute. It's hard for me to have a community because I feel like every time we get a solid community, we move. And we just moved, and I still haven't built my community yet. And it's been very hard. It takes time. It takes time and time to be able to get to know someone, especially around my kids, trusting them, understanding that they're not going to overstep, setting up certain boundaries. Fancy, that's for you. Miss Marsha said, please forgive, but did the dog owners get in trouble? I feel bad. I feel bad for your family and feel bad for the dog too. I'm a animal lover, and I think it's okay to be an animal lover. I agree, but when he's lit, I think like Fancy said, she had a moment during the interaction with the dog that she felt like she was going to die, and it took so long to get that dog out of her flesh. So I think when it comes to dogs like this who are very dangerous, while we can love dogs and be animal lovers, we have to be also wise and mindful. Yeah. So give me a second, y'all, because I wanted to ask y'all a question. So just really quick, because I said I was going to open up some time for you guys to ask me any questions. Are there any questions that you have for me personally? Cynthia, for me, I believe it's hard to find a local community due to your age. I agree. Right now, I feel like being that I am 43, um, I noticed that a lot of homemakers are like 30 and under. They cannot relate to me. What I stuff that bothers a lot of women don't, it just doesn't phase me anymore. And I think, some of the things that we go through, and I agree that we are at an age, Cynthia and Kelly, I think Kelly, you're up at my age too. We're at an age where we just see life through a different lens. It's just different. um so yeah, homeschooling for me this year has been much more relaxing. um my kids are very independent. That's why I don't show a lot of homeschool content, because I have a 10th grader and I have a 6th grader, and they are on their own platforms. We do the check-ins each day, and they're good. I don't have to worry about them not getting their work done. So y'all are not going to see a whole lot of homeschooling, because we homeschool non-traditionally. And we don't stick to one curriculum. I will not push one curriculum. We have different resources and things like that. Marsha, you said, just wanted to say that I do love your videos. I'm 62. Thank you, Marsha. I appreciate that. You said you're mentally 40. Tim, that's true. Most online, especially, are younger. Yeah, yeah. Um, I'm 52 and I'm retired due to my dwindling health. I am the only person in my neighborhood who stays home. Really? So in the beginning of my journey, I always worked, and when I came home, I realized very quickly that everybody that I talked to were working moms. And so not having that, because they couldn't relate to me and I could no longer relate to them, um, it was hard. Good morning, just joined. Hey, good morning. Young and flourishing, you're 30. So how do you feel? Oh, young and flourishing, y'all. They are, oh gosh, don't let me mess this up. They sold everything and they just bought a bunch of land, and they are building a homestead, and they're homeschooling their kids. Usually people are already in their tribes. Yes, that's what I learned, Cynthia, about moving where I live, is that everybody already know each other. They're already in their own little cliques and friendships, and they already know how to do life together. And so it's hard to add other people into that space. I know. I love homeschooling, y'all. Homeschooling versus public schooling is so liberating, and it's so free. I feel like homeschooling is harder to share about when kids are older. It is. Yeah. I won't share only because people will be like, well, they won't get it. Just how do you pronounce your name? Jessica? Am I saying that right? Thank you. Takisha, I really enjoy your channel and want to encourage you. Yes, please encourage me. I accept. And I'm also open to any criticism. Anytime y'all want to talk to me, email me. I am on Telegram as well. My email is sincerelytakisha@gmail.com. Okay, who's next? I agree, Cynthia. I'm a working mom too, but I still enjoy your channel. So let me tell y'all something. I want to say this, and I want to make sure everybody hears me. It doesn't matter if you're working. You're still a homemaker. I know society wants to tell us that we have to be home full time. But again, like Brittany said, walking into her said that homemaking is a heart posture towards God. It has nothing to do with you working in or outside the house. As long as you are honoring God with your home, don't put just because you're working as a label as to you saying that, oh, I work. But no, if you are a homemaker, be that, and let it be. Same with homeschooling. Okay, Natara. You got me thinking I may need to restructure my brand. Yes, I'm restructuring my brand, and I'm so happy that I did, because how do y'all feel about someone sharing content as a homemaker, but it's and it's no shade to anybody who let me just say this, it's no shade to anybody who creates content and does this, but I just want to know for myself. The only thing they show you is cooking and cleaning. How For me, I want you to see how well me and my husband love each other, how well like I am when it comes to being a mother, generally biblical womanhood, how I think, how I treat people, like the Proverbs 31 woman through and through. And it's like sometimes we get stuck in just cooking and cleaning, and our kids are acting up, but nobody knows how to really parent them. So I want to make sure that when y'all are seeing me, like I have full conversations with my kids, we have full prayer sessions together. Like, how do I show up for my children? How do I show up for my husband? How do I show up for a friend? Being a homemaker, I have, like, the cooking and cleaning to me, in my mind, the way my mind is processed is that everybody in the world has to learn how to cook and clean, because everybody's not married, even men. So like, where do we kind of differentiate ourselves when it comes to, being outside of that? Yeah, I'm not going to just show you that. First of all, I'm going to just be real. Cleaning is not something I want to share on my channel all the time. Megan. Yes, I agree. I am working. So to be married. Mother. I am a home. You are. Yes, it is, Brittany. It's a lifestyle. That's why I keep watching. I just love when you. Yes, y'all. I could talk about my husband all day. I love the holistic approach to homemaking instead of just housekeeping. Yes. Yeah. So I love the behind the scenes. There's more to it just being cooking, cleaning. I appreciate you showing all of that. Yeah, I just want to be relatable, y'all. I also want to make sure that I'm not idolizing my kids, or putting them in the forefront. I mean, y'all are gonna see Zorn because he is a toddler and he's with me 99.9% of the time. But my older kids, they got their own thing going on. And you don't hardly see a lot of homemaking content with older kids. So I want to make sure like my kids can stay here forever. I want to put that out there. So I ain't trying to kick them out. They can be here until they don't want to be here no more. And I prefer that they just want to be here forever. Um, Kelly, you got married at 21, okay, and being a mother, I didn't know. So let me tell you, I am not the mother that my mom was to me. I'm very mindful of that, and she was a good mom. It wasn't until I was 40 that I realized that everything my mama did, she did from survival mode. Like, she was just trying to make it from day to day. So I hold no ill will to her, but my life as a mom and a wife was much different than hers. And so I think my mom loves to see it now. At the beginning, she didn't understand why I had to come home, to raise my kids. But being a mom, that's a woman that is young, and a mom and a wife, it is a lot to take on. And I commend you for that. Listen, I'm a homemaker and I struggle. I love my husband, but sometimes I want to square up. My kids drive me crazy. Laundry will sit for 3 days. But I am learning to breathe through it all and pray. Fancy told me yesterday that she only fold clothes on Fridays. I was like, what? Girl, I might have to do that. Pick up one day a week to fold clothes. Um, You drinking a cup of coffee and reading scripture with your husband is the best part. Thank you. And y'all, honestly, that's probably the only time I can get him on camera. When it comes to the word, he is there. Like he's there. He's ready to talk. I think those are the earliest things to film. Easiest things to film, sorry. I usually put pull my camera out during the nap times. Yeah, I understand, Fancy. Yeah, and that's the best time for you to be able to record is when they're asleep and you got to get things done around the house. I get it. I'm I am 50 in December. My season is changing. I've completed homeschool. I look at my life as an open book, and I have learned to that people can relate to transparency. That is true. And I want you, Roshonda, to get back on YouTube because you're home. You're down. You have a lot of wisdom. I think a lot of us need more Titus 2, more wise women online putting out good, wholesome content. Keisha, you know I be getting chased. Yes, Fancy is so funny. So, Kelly, when you said you want to square up, I was like, yes, girl. Let me tell y'all something. I don't know a lot of people, but that know this, but I wanted all boys because I had sisters growing up. I had a brother, but me and my sisters were all 2 years apart. So we were like stair steppers. And when I tell you we used to fight, but when I wanted all boys, I wanted all boys because I felt like boys, you could just say what you can say and they ain't going to be all emotional about it. And the fact that I have a daughter, I feel like God gave me a daughter so I can kind of calm down. But my boys make me want to square up. And they let me. They let me. My husband, him too. He's so quiet, but Lord have mercy. My 27 daughter. Are you saying your daughter is 27? Her husband and daughter live with my husband and they simply cannot afford to buy a home. I understand. So, is it you, Carolyn, that said that you're the only saved person in your family, or was that someone else? Lady Shan, I believe me and you were commenting on that comment. Because I'm not folding. Oh, you saying okay? Because you're not folding laundry every day. I'm almost 32 and I enjoy your content and I watch. So, with my content right now, a lot of it is just fly by night. Um, Tell me what is something that you guys would like to see more of in my content. Hold on, the comments are going fast. 4 kids under 5. Um, Kwamesha, do you know Flo Woods? One of my good friends, Flo, she has 4 under 5 as well. She just had twins. Um, and she has 2 toddlers. So you would love her content. It's just how do you balance accountability and giving yourself grace? When you say accountability, what do you mean by that, Kwamesha? And the only saved person. Okay, Caroline, you say you are the only saved person. Okay, I've been praying for you. I have been praying for your family. Yeah, I love Flo's content too. And it's what is Flo's channel name? I'm gonna have to send it to you, Kwamesha. But I want to know. You said my question is, how do you balance accountability? What do you mean by that? Thank you, Fancy. Oh, my responsibilities. Okay, so this is the perfect thing about having older kids is that they all have. I don't do everything. First of all, I want to make it known that I don't believe in being a martyr. I'm not going to kill myself to get everything done. Um, I literally have power hour every day, and I choose one section of my house to focus on. My kids have their own routines, even Zoran. And Zoran loves to just fold clothes with me. Whenever I'm folding clothes, I give him his own basket, even though he never folds it right, and I have to go behind him and still fold. But that's what he likes to do, to feel like he's doing something around the house. He likes to try to help me wash the dishes, take the dishes out the dishwasher. I'm noticing now that Zoran is a very proactive child. He literally will, if he sees me doing something, he's like, "Mommy, I want to help," and I let him. So my kids have a routine. My husband have a routine. I retire my day around 3 or 4. I still cook dinner, but after dinner, I eat and I retire for the night. My husband, and I'm going to say this loud and proud because this is what we do here at my house, is my husband once he's off work at 5, he spends time with the kids and he delegates, and they all clean up after dinner. So I can get my rest, I can relax and prep my day for the next day. So that's what we do here. Everybody is hands on deck here. We don't believe in able bodied people just sitting around not doing anything. Yes, my kids have to work. I am not raising my sons to be poor leaders. When I met my husband, he comes from a family that's built just like how our family is now. Um, so he was like, no, I cook, I clean. When I met him, I had never seen a man like him before in my life. My dad was just like him, but again, like seeing my dad do it wasn't. Ashawn was a different breed. Like he color coded his closets. It was just too much. And I was like, well, he's a type A and I'm a type Z. I wasn't a type. And over the years, we've kind of like figured out what works for us. So on Saturdays and Sundays, we're both off. We do not do anything around the house as far as like a lot of homemaking and things like that. But my husband cooks breakfast every Saturday morning for us. And he loves that. And we sit together and we eat. And that's a tradition that we have had since the beginning. I'm missing some comments here. It says, my problem is I need to get off my phone more. I agree. I'm the same way. So if y'all ever see me missing in action, it's most times where the Lord is like, put your phone down and focus. I have gotten to the place now where I'm only going to be posting content and getting off social media. It's too crazy out there. I have 2 or 3 days a week where I go back and try to reply to comments because I don't like leaving y'all hanging. And if I heart a comment, like heart your comment, that means, and I don't say anything, that means I'm going to come back to it and try to reply as soon as I can. But I don't like sitting with my phone in my hand all day because I fuss at my own kids about being on social media. And so I have to be an example for them. I'm not going to be like, get off those phones. And my phone is on D&D. It's never off D&D. I never turn my D&D off. Simply because when I do put my phone down, I don't want that phone distracting me. And then, at some point I'll pick it up and then I'll be like, I'm sorry. It may take me 2 or 3 days to respond, but I will respond. He said, have a designated time. I'm on it. And so let me just say this for you, Kelly. YouTube is the only platform that I have that I don't spend a lot of time on. And that's funny. I think my issue is Facebook and TikTok, and I need to cut it to the point where I'm going to delete the apps off my phone, and I only need to go on there specifically to drop a video and go. Train them up is the word. I agree. Thanks for sharing that channel. I'm always looking for wisdom. And I think Kwamesha Flo lives in Florida as well. Our husbands sound similar. Yeah. My husband is a father, y'all. He do stuff with the kids that I don't even do. He is just one of those men. And like I told y'all in my video, he was like, I don't care, you don't have to ever work another day. And I'm like, but I want to work another day. He's like, but you don't have to. And that's the struggle that we have. He's like, but nobody's telling you to work. And I'm like, but I want to work. And he's like, I just want my kids to be raised well. That's it. And I'll bear the burden of everything else, financially and everything. And I'm like, okay, well, okay. You know, I have to let him be who he is, because his kids are the most important to him. Because don't change anything. Teamwork. He and my late husband did the same. Yes, I love your content the way it is. Okay, thank you. I just feel like I could be showing a little bit more. It's very hard for me to explain things. Like, I am going to start sharing how I plan out my days and weeks and months, and stuff like that. But I'm not going to do any of that until 2025. Yes, the phone was definitely a huge distraction for me. My phone is always on D&D. Only my husband. Yes, yes. That's me. Yes. Social media is such a distraction, and I literally take everything with a grain of salt. I don't, and not to say that I don't trust or believe everything, but yeah, my house is always in a mess, y'all, but in the mornings, because, they clean up at night. I'm coming back to some idols. Yeah. So, this is another thing I wanted to talk about. I'm getting ready to talk about the giveaway, so give me a second. I want to make sure that it's okay to follow homemakers and anybody online. I think that one thing I'm learning is to never assume what I see is real. And so what that looks like is, if I'm having a bad moment with my child, that it's just a simple bad moment, but I am still a loving mother. So sometimes you may see a mom frustrated and you say, oh, you kind of responded in a negative way to your child. And it's like, I want everybody to understand that we are human. We're human. We're human. D&D is do not disturb. So D&D is, when I put my phone on D&D, I get no text notifications, no phone calls. It goes to voicemail. It's anything that will make noise on your phone. Your phone is pretty much silenced. Megan, my phone is always on D&D. Only my husband. Okay, yeah, I read that one. I'm coming back. I need to make sure I'm representing God well. Yes, I want to make sure I'm representing God well. I want to make sure that in my day-to-day life, like, where is my heart when it comes to the Lord? Um, I have to be mindful of how I even, like, how I'm in the car and I drive, because y'all, I will lay on the horn. Like, my heart posture has to be always towards God. All right, Kelly, I got you. Fine. Let's give it up for a minute again. Yes, my husband took over meal planning. Yes, listen. So let me tell you about my story about meal planning. I was that I was the person that was trying to cook every day, plan every day. And my husband, one day, he was like, this was like last year, and he said, how about for the month of May, I just take over the shopping, I take over, give you a month off, I take over the planning, and that way during this month you can figure out, like, how you're gonna come back. Y'all, I went to planning monthly, thinking about food morning, noon, and night. It was stressing me out. Cooking every day was stressing me out. I was like, what am I doing here? Like, I need to figure out how to be better, so that my life is it revolved around food. It revolved around going to the store, sales. We're out of this, we're out of that. I got so tired of that, y'all. I started monthly meal planning, and then I started seasonal meal planning, and then I started breaking down my meals to weekly purchases, and only cooking every 2 days. So like I said in my video that I posted on Monday, I do 2, 2, and 3. And I make sure the 3 days is like big pot meals, stews, spaghetti, something that's going to actually last 3 days. Planning meal and cooking. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I find it so motivating, inspiring. Thank you. I'm low-key thinking about deleting these apps, except YouTube. Yeah, I'm actually probably going to do that this week. I love your videos. I feel like I'm having to visit. Y'all, please visit me. And I say that with all sincerity, simply because I'm in an unknown place and I don't know a lot of people here where I live. So y'all are really all I have. I laugh at you saying, why y'all let me? Yes, why y'all let me eat that whole, all that stuff? Thank you, Kim. Once homeschooling. So this is Fancy's first time homeschooling this year. All I think, are you homeschooling all your kids, Fancy? Oh, girl, Kwamesha. Zorn is so picky. Zorn now all of a sudden don't like cheese. Excited to see everybody. All right, so in the next live, I'm going to share details in my binder. And I'll probably go live again next Wednesday. But I think I'm going to break this binder. Oh, it's right here. I think I'm going to cut it in half, y'all, because it's so big. So I'm thinking, let me see if I can open it up for y'all. My table of contents is well, I don't know if y'all can see that. Can y'all see this? Can y'all read this the right way? Or is it backwards? Tell me, and if you can't read it, I will read it. It's flipped. Okay. So number one is my inventory. So I have pantry inventory, freezer inventory, and refrigerator inventory. And what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about making this a spreadsheet as well. But let me know if y'all would like that. For number two is entrees. So it'll be breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, appetizers, salads and sides, sauces and dressings. And I'm talking about homemade. Slow cookers, soups and stews, chilies, casseroles, meats and barbecues, pastas, and freezer meals. All the things that I actually want to put on the channel, but I feel like I'm so overwhelmed by it. Juicing, baking, dry mixes, canning, gardening, restaurants, meal delivery services. And meal delivery services is simply because like if I have surgery like I did, like I have things like, what is that? Where they deliver like the meals for the week. And then the last one is resources. I have a recipe template that I use and everything to fill each section. So I come up with at least 3 meals per week. Yes, seasonal homemaking is so beautiful. It is. I think what's your favorite season? You juice daily? I seen somebody juicing celery, and I'm like, girl, the celery will eat the lining in your stomach. Fall. That's my issue now. I need to learn how to plan better. Yes. Okay, now Cynthia and Rashonda, y'all are in the same areas. You're so funny, Kwamesha. Fall and winter. So let me just tell y'all a little tip. I have never seen or touched snow in my whole life. And I want to experience that just once. You only need 1 stalk of celery. I swear, when I drink it down, it burns so bad. You're moving again, Kelly? So, like I was saying in my video, I am a rice girl. So, sometimes I'll just have a meat and a vegetable with nothing else, or I'll have rice. So how does your meal plans work? For me, I literally just exclude it. Now, the only time I don't exclude pasta is when I'm eating spaghetti. But when I am eating spaghetti, I'm eating a small amount. And I'll do something like a lot of broccoli. So I'll eat like a handful of spaghetti, but a lot of broccoli or something like that. And I drink a lot of water when I eat spaghetti. I am so disorganized and forgetful. Kim, that's why I plan. And I don't know if you saw my video the other day that we were 2 days ahead when I took the kids to the dentist. Um, they called me on my way to the dentist and was like, no, your appointment is in 2 days. We're calling today just to confirm that you'll be there. And like, because my brain is like, I have to have it written down. And I had to develop a love for planning. Okay, coffee, Miss Shan, fall. So everybody's a fall. I hate the summer. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's too hot. So I'm going to try to touch snow one day. I really am. This is such a random question, but I just wanted to ask you, do you think it is wise to plan to become a wife? No. It's yes, it's wise. I think I'm 29. I went back to school for nutrition. So, can I ask you guys, what do you think a Proverbs 31 woman is? Are you saying that is this sugar honey? I don't know how to pronounce that. Are you saying that you want to start preparing to be a wife and a homemaker? Are you talking to me, Roshonda? I found you looking for oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Thank you. Come to Buffalo. Oh, you're in Buffalo. Hot flash. Cynthia, my hot flashes just started like this week, and I don't know what to do. Just so you know, my kids know playing in the snow is a daddy thing. Yes, like my kids know that playing outside is a daddy thing. Um, Mommy doesn't go outside in the snow very long. Yeah, because it makes sense to, as a single woman, school is going to be, yes. So here's the thing. My daughter wants to be a homemaker, but me and my husband are like, but you still got to get your education. You still got to support yourself at some point as an adult. There's no guarantee that you will ever get married, and I truly pray and desire for her to get married because that's her desire. But I want to make it clear that a lot of us on this live are educated women. Me being one of them. I had a full six-figure career before I left to come home full time. And I don't regret working. I don't regret going through the experiences that I went through. Now, was I prepared to be married when I married or when I met my husband? No, I wasn't thinking about marriage because I honestly didn't think I was worthy of marriage. It wasn't anything. It was just the people that were around me did not show or say that I was marriage material. And I did not know that until I met my husband when he told me that the Lord told him that I was his wife. And even when he told me that, I laughed because there's no way I could be anybody's wife. So it took me a while to see myself as marriage material. And I also grew up in a home where both parents worked 2 to 3 jobs each. So being able to have a desire to be married, you can very well get, I feel like you do not have to be married to be a homemaker. You can be that now because, again, it is a heart posture towards God. And it's just going to make the transition so much more easier when you do get married. Eyes preparation and heart. Yes. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. I'm trying to catch up on the comments. I need hormone replacement therapy. Yes. Yes, so a lot of us are educated women. Again, when I came home, and I just want to tell y'all my story as to why. The Lord had been pulling on my heart to come home to take care of my kids for at least 5 years before I actually came home. And before we got pregnant with Zorn, I was pregnant and I had a miscarriage. I knew without a shadow of a doubt that that miscarriage was a result of stress and anxiety from my job. So much so that I ended up having to get diagnosed with anxiety and depression, and they put me on short-term disability. And it wasn't until it was time for me to come back to work after after that was ending, and I started to have panic attacks going back to work. And my husband had to have a real serious sit down talk with me and say, "Hey, I need you to stay home. First of all, I feel like you're putting yourself through this and you don't have to. I never said you had to work." And so I I just was so scared because I didn't know what life would look like um, on one income, like real life. But I had to find out fast because I was going down a hole, and I didn't think I would be able to dig myself out of that hole if I went back to work. Mind you, during this time, he was working from home and homeschooling our kids full time. And he's like, "I need you to come home so that you can homeschool the kids and I can focus on my job." And I said, "Okay." So I submitted a resignation and I sent them all of my equipment back because I was working from home at the time and I was working insurance. And the moment I made the decision to stay home, it's almost like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. And it was almost like God was like, "Now let me bless you." Because out of your obedience, when you should have been home 5 years ago, I'm going to show you just how good life can be now that you're being not only obedient to your husband, but you're being obedient to me. And I'm telling y'all, when you're surrendering things because you're uncomfortable and you don't know how it's going to look on the other side, I say do it and trust God. You cannot trust God and you have one foot out. You have to have both feet in. All right. We are almost at the end. I have 2 more minutes. So I'm trying to think. What's a good question I can ask? Hold on. We're going to do a giveaway. Okay, never mind. So pick a number between, I have my number. Let me write it down so y'all don't think I'm cheating. Pick a number between 1 and 50. All right, so this is what the giveaway is going to be. This is an apron, and like I said, it's still new. It still has a tag on it, and it's going to be yours. So each time I go live, I don't know if you guys know, but I used to have a boutique for homemakers, and when I shut the boutique down, I have so many dresses, so many things. So each time I go live for a while until I give them all away, I'm going to be doing a free giveaway of all the items. All right, so let's see. And I will give it another minute so that you guys can all right, get it down. You mentioned something that we need to discuss later. Obedience, submission to yes. Okay. I can call you when I get off this live, Cynthia. Thanks for your input. Yes, preparation, believe God. And sugar honey, there are so many. I've come across a lot of single women who are homemakers online, and I love to see them. I do. One of the things I say all the time is don't put me in a box. Like, don't put me in that box. And so that when y'all do see like different sides of me that you're like, ooh, you know, I'm still real. Like Fancy said, we are loud laughers. We love to laugh. I'm still waiting. I'm going to wait until, oh, okay. So I'm going to give it 15 more seconds. Choose a number between 1 and 50. And I am looking to see if the answer, what is your email? My email is sincerely Takisha@gmail.com. Okay. I'm with you, Cynthia. All right. So let's see. The number is 27. And I think the person who won that is Kwamesha, because she chose 26. I don't see. Oh man. So we wait. I see 28. So we also see 28. And so it's a tie. So I'm going to ask you guys, you two, Kwamesha and Lady Shan, to choose another number between 1 and 20. Okay. I'm waiting for Lady Shan. So the number is 14. I don't know if you see that. So you chose, so Kwamesha, she won. Lady Shan, I got you though, girl. I got you. Let me write your name down, and then I can send me an email so I can get your address. So yeah, so next week I'm gonna go live again, but my live next week is going to be more topic driven, and I'm gonna make sure that we have something to really dive in and talk about. So next week for coffee conversations, we're gonna have our coffee or tea, and bring your Bibles, and we're gonna have a chit chat. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. This was a success. Thank y'all. So, Kwamesha, I'll be waiting on the email from you, and I want y'all to have a good day. Happy Wednesday, and I'll see y'all in the next live. Bye. I don't know how to end this live. How do you end the live? Oh, wait. Do I just X out of it? Okay.